and of course, supporting staff here at OPM. So I take this opportunity to just give a quick update regarding transportation, public transportation matters, including the JUTC, the Montego Bay Metro, and the Rural School Bus Program. I can say that firsthand, I went to the Spanish Town bus park this morning at 6:30 and was very pleased to see that there was no build-up of commuters. I left there and I went to Nagahead and the same, and then I went downtown to South Parade and North Parade, and again the buses were moving and the commuters were moving, and that is a welcome sign. I did get feedback from commuters who have definitely seen an improvement, but as we know, the big test will be Monday when everybody is back out to school. But I can say with confidence, based on what I witnessed this morning, that we are definitely heading in the right direction. So the JUTC would have rolled out 250 buses across the Kingston metropolitan region on Monday. And of course, the commuters benefited from an additional 100 CNG new buses. So out of that 270 buses, we have approximately 125 CNG buses, and we have also 50 new Ankai buses which came into the island mid last year. So you're talking about 175 out of 270, which is a huge improvement in terms of the fleet, because prior to that, there were minimal new buses, and the majority of them were old buses as old as 12 to 16 years old that were not reliable. So we are definitely happy in relation to that. And of course, we all know the commitment is there by the government and approved by the Ministry of Finance to order another 100 CNG buses, which I'm hoping to go through the procurement processes and actually pay deposits on that for early next year, which would get the buses here between June and July again. And I think that with those 100 buses, plus the refurbished buses, which are 24 Hill Route, that are the buses that 8 of them have been refurbished already, with another 16 going into refurbishing to be completed by end of the year, early 25, along with 30 of the Volvo articulated buses that are going to be also refurbished. And therefore, I think at that time, the commuting public will definitely see the improvement and the efficiency. Happy to tell you that this morning, there was no wait on the locations that I went to that were more than 30 minutes, which is a huge improvement. And as again, it's because of the amount of buses. So for the places that I went this morning, they probably have twice the amount of buses that they had pre the 100 CNG. And that is what's making the big difference, because you have more buses. In one case, they had 20 buses, and now they have 40 buses serving the routes that they serve in the different areas. So the bottom line is that, as well as that, we have some improvements in relation to increase in buses deployment, and these routes are served by the Rockford, Spanish Town, and Portmore Depot. So 6 routes have been improved, and that would be Route 76, downtown to Barbican, 50A, Seaview to downtown via Marcus Garvey, 50B, Seaview to downtown via Spanish Town Road, 89 downtown to Vineyard Town via Eston Road, and 75A Express, which is 6 miles to Papine via Malines Road, and 78 Express downtown to Augustown. For the Spanish Town Depot, we have 5 improved routes: 45 Express Great House Circle to UWI Backgate, 30 Price Right via Walton Park Road to downtown, 47 Price Right downtown via Lyndhurst Road, and 44 Great House to downtown, and 31 Price Right to downtown via Spanish Town Road. And last but not least, Portmore, 6 routes improved: 8AX from Nagahead via Halfway Tree to New Kingston, 17EX Greater Portmore via downtown to Crossroads, 16BX Greater Portmore via Boulevard to Manor Park, Route 7A Waterford to Halfway Tree, Route 7 Waterford to City, and 8AX Nagahead via Halfway Tree to New Kingston. We also have new sub-franchise of stage carriage routes and route taxi license that's based on the no objection from the JUTC to the Transport Authority for the sub-franchising of 6 stage carriage routes and the issuing of route taxi licenses on 11 routes in the KTMR. The JUTC will open the application process for sub-franchise for the following 6 stage carriage routes starting October 1st. Short via Halfway Tree to downtown Kingston. That will be for coaster buses. Barbican Halfway Tree to downtown Kingston. Coaster. Doheny Park to Halfway Tree downtown. Coaster. Whitehall to Halfway Tree via downtown Kingston. Coaster. Havendale to Halfway Tree to downtown Kingston. Coaster. Harborview Halfway Tree downtown Kingston Coaster. PM? Eh?
Yes, he's here.
Oh, I'm hearing that the PM is here, and he has bigger things to talk about than me. So again, with the proliferation of hackney carriage operators providing unauthorized route type services, the offer by the Transport Authority for the conversion of the license will ease the burdens faced by commuters who are often overcharged to compensate for hackney fare rates. With the JUTC offering no objection, the Transport Authority has started, and the next sensitization will take place on September 18th, 24 at the William Grant Park in downtown. Hackney carriage operators are invited to apply for conversion to a route taxi license starting now up to March 25 in the first instance. The operators who refuse to convert their licenses to route taxis and continue to operate illegally will face the law. The 11 routes being offered: downtown to East Queen Street, Norman Gardens for vehicles, downtown East Queen Street to Rennock Lodge, motor vehicles, downtown South Camp Road to Crossroads, motor vehicles, downtown South Camp Road, Vineyard Town, motor vehicles, downtown East Queen Street, Rollington Town, motor vehicles, downtown East Queen Street, Franklin Town, motor vehicles, Halfway Tree to Hagley Park Road to 3 miles, motor vehicles, Halfway Tree Road, Hope Road, Papine, motor vehicles, Halfway Tree, Red Hills Road, Chancery Street, motor vehicles, Halfway Tree, Washington Boulevard, Doheny Park, motor vehicles. Last but not least, Halfway Tree, Mountain View, Windward Road, motor vehicles. I wish to note that this type of solution-driven deliberations improve the provision of transport services to the public, come out of collaboration with the public transport providers and the Transport Authority. The Public Transport Operators Steering Committee, which was established in 2023 when I became minister, provides an avenue for sector players to give direct input to the shaping of the transport sector as they represent the concerns of both PPV operators and how to better serve commuters nationwide. I have Montego Bay Metro. You want me to hold on that? I'll be back.
He will definitely be back in a few minutes, and I ask for you to please stand for the arrival of the Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Andrew Holness.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ministers, members of the press, and Jamaicans here and abroad watching us, listening to us virtually. Yesterday, my administration marked the 4th anniversary of its victory at the polls on September 3rd, 2020. Our stated mission was to continue the journey of Jamaica's development towards a productive and prosperous economy and a just and peaceful society. There have been unexpected shocks along our journey, which have threatened to throw us off course. In fact, our journey as a nation has been characterized by frequent, multiple, and overlapping crises. The difference with this administration compared to others is our stellar performance in preparing, withstanding, and recovering quickly from shocks, whether it was the worst pandemic in 100 years, a supply chain shock, a global inflation shock, or a shock caused by a weather event such as Hurricane Beryl. We have managed to absorb these shocks largely from our own resources. This is something that we should, as a people, reflect on. We have managed to continue the downward trajectory of our national debt, increase our reserves, keep the dollar stable, bring down inflation, and most important, continue the capital investment in critical public infrastructure such as water, roads, security, hospitals, and you would have heard Minister Vaz gloating on his 100 buses and the 100 more to come and the 100 more to come. This has never happened in the independent history of Jamaica. The critics can crow all they want, they cannot assail this fact. What is a government to do other than to do this? At this juncture, we can say that Jamaica has institutionalized strong fiscal management to secure economic certainty, resilience, and stability. The next step in our journey is to focus on achieving high growth. While we have been achieving some levels of growth, we are not satisfied with the anemic levels of growth that we have been achieving. We are not satisfied that the level of growth that we have been achieving will be sufficient to deliver the increases in public revenues needed to drive investments in the things that matter to you, like your roads, your schools, social security and pensions. Further, low growth and low growth trajectories are easily wiped out by events such as Hurricane Beryl. As you would have seen, the pandemic would have affected our growth. No doubt, Beryl will also have an impact on our growth. In the coming months, as the government moves to structure itself for greater focus on growth, efficiency, peace, and productivity, which will deliver the benefits that you would like to see for yourself, as I have said. Benefits such as better wages, better education, better health care, better roads and water. We have planned certain changes to put the administration in a position to refocus and better deliver these well-deserved benefits to the people of Jamaica. These changes are occurring at all levels of the government. They are not only limited to the cabinet level, and you would have already seen some changes occurring. Against this backdrop, you would have been informed of Minister Clark's promotion to serve internationally in the IMF. Yesterday, we announced the resignation of Marsha Smith as Member of Parliament for North East St. Anne. Minister Matthew Samuda will replace Marsha in North East St. Anne as the party's candidate. And on Monday last, he tendered his resignation from the Senate and as a minister to make himself available. And at a later stage, I will announce a new appointment for Marsha, who has excellent skills and experience in industrial relations matters. Today, I am announcing that a by-election will be held in the constituency of North East St. Anne. The nomination day will be September 11th, 2024, and the election day will be September 30th, 2024. Thank you.
Mic on? Okay, we'll take one or two questions if there are any. And the first two hands that go up, you get the questions.
The last time I was here, I wasn't able to take questions. I
Yes.
had an appointment before. I do have an appointment at 10, but I will take one or two questions.
Morning, Prime Minister. Morning,
Not in parts.
morning, Prime Minister. Morning, everybody. Arthur Hall from the Jamaica Observer. PM, there's another constituency which has a vacancy, Trelawney Southern. Notice you announced a by-election for one that became vacant this week, and you haven't announced a by-election for one that has been vacant for a year now.
There is also a division that is vacant. And so, to put everyone at ease, within the restructuring that is taking place, all outstanding seats will be addressed.
Thank you, sir.
Morning, Prime Minister. Mahir Stewart from Nationwide News here. I want to ask you a question actually about some comments you made during your speech at Jamaica College. You referenced the placement tests for students going from primary and prep school to high school, and you were saying that it might be somewhat of an unfair and outdated system.
Yeah, so look, we put together a commission to transform education. The way in which for decades we have distributed the best educational places in the country has created a social divide in the society. Education is not only for the bright. And once we get over that and we recognize that every school must perform to the highest standard, so it doesn't really matter which name brand school you go to, you're going to get the best quality education. When we talk about transformation in education, that is the core of it. It is a travesty in my mind that we place so much pressure on our young ones at an early age, where some may naturally exhibit the ability to grasp information quickly and regurgitate it. That is not a measure of intelligence or creativity. And we distribute our best educational spaces in that way to the detriment of the rest of the society. And we have been doing this for ages. If the government were to ever say, let me change that, and put the lowest performing students at the best places, there would be chaos. That wouldn't work. So the strategy of the government must focus on improving all schools. And that focus of improvement must start with the basics in education. We are piling on too much on our kids at an early age. We need to ensure that they can read, that they can function well in a numerate way, that they can articulate, and that they can interface with technology. Once we get them those core learning skills, the world of knowledge is open to them. And that is why we had focused so heavily on literacy. And in the transformation to come, you're going to see an emphasis on streamlining what our children learn at an early age. You're going to see an emphasis on the development of the skills necessary to drive our education system. As I've said, the administration for the last 5 or 6 years, we focused heavily on developing the economic horsepower to deliver the things that we are talking about now. And as you can see, we are delivering. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Prime Minister, before you go, can I just ask you one question? I'm Shoshana Small from Lino.
Moderator.
All right, I will allow this last question, PM.
Okay, thank you so much. Shoshana Small from the Gleno. Prime Minister, can you explain to us why is it that St. Anne Northeastern has been singled out for a by-election, and why aren't by-elections being held in all the vacant constituencies?
Northeast St. Anne is not singled out. As I have said, we are at a stage where we are now ready to do all the by-elections, and all of them will be done. It is just that this one is going to be done first, but all the by-elections will be done.
Can you give us a time frame as to when that
As
will
they
happen?
as they come due, they will be done. And I would say within months. Within months.
All right, thank you. Prime Minister,
very much,
before you
everyone.
go, just to
Thank you. He has to go.
have to
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, PM. And Minister Vaz, you are back up. And so this is really why you have to come to Postcab. You know, you have to listen to Postcab. You never know what's going to happen. I know the ads would have showed Minister Williams and Minister Vaz, and there would have been a lot of anticipation for both of you. But then we have the Prime Minister show up and gave a very good announcement. But Minister Vaz, over to you.
Thank you very much. I will be leaving here and going